Hi everyone, this is a short video towards your visit at the Pucker Gallery in Boston and meeting with artist Samuel Bak. Mainly to share my excitement, even though I won't be there with you, but you're lucky enough to go, and I wanted you to have some information and possibly infuse some of my excitement. So there's a very short reading list because I think that meeting with someone like that really benefits from knowing a little more before you come. And what I want to do is to share with you a kind of look at the work that is currently hanging in the Tel Aviv Museum of Art. It's part of the collection and hanging as part of the larger permanent exhibition of the Israeli collection. Very exciting because although it was in the archives of the museum, it wasn't hanging until now. And having it there's really amazing. It's a very large work. I'm going to share the screen with you now so you can see it. So this is the work. The work is called Pardes, or orchard in English. It's a very large work. You'll see the measurements in the accompanying document. And really to fully appreciate, you kind of need to stand from far away and see it. And what I want to do is just go over a few things so you can appreciate the symbolism in this work and the depth of thought behind it. Not only obviously the amazing craftsmanship, but really the story that it tells. So if you first look, you can see here this shape of the 10 Commandments, and you can see this shape over here. And if you start looking, you'll see that you recognize different elements, not only the 10 Commandments, but also possibly the Torah scroll over here, the Hebrew letters, which we'll talk about more over here, what looks here like a crematorium, numbers up over here. And if you look at the whole structure, you see it's actually a maze, one that we wouldn't necessarily want to go into. The smoke coming up, obviously the death from this place, and only in the far kind of horizon, something that looks a little bit more hopeful. If we look, we can see this maze has 4 doors, one completely locked, but none of them look very, very inviting. And this maze looks like a maze of ruins. And above each of these doors is a letter, Pei, Reish, and you can see a little Reish over here too. You can see here Dalet and a Samech over here. Together, these letters spell the word Pardes, orchard in Hebrew. But orchard, or the word Pardes in Hebrew, also comes from to refer to the mystical studies. It comes from a very famous Talmudic tale or story. 4 entered the orchard. I will add that in the reading material too. And it's also an acronym, Pardes, the Pei standing for Pshat, the simple understanding of the biblical text, the Reish standing for Remez, a hint, kind of the next layer of understanding of the biblical text. Very often we can see that with the commentators like Rashi, kind of giving us the next layer. Dalet stands for Drash, the Midrashim, the external stories of the biblical text. And then the Samech stands for Sod, secret, the mystical studies or the mystical understandings of the biblical text. And actually, one of the reasons that traditionally it was only men over the age of 40 that could study mystical texts or Jewish mystical texts or the Kabbalah was because it was believed that if you went through all your studies, so by the age of 40, you should have or were supposed to have gone through the studies of the Pshat, the simple, the Remez, the hinted, and the Drash, the stories around, and then maybe possibly be ready for that. In the Talmudic story of 4 entered the orchard, it basically says that the first one peeked in and died. Hitzitz v'met. The mystical studies were too much for him to even encounter. The second one, Hitzitz v'nifga. He peeked in, took a small sip of studies of the mystical text, and he lost his mind. The third one, Kitzet Benetiot, he became heretic. And from then onwards in the Talmud, he's referred to as Acher, the other. He's still quoted, but never by his name, but by the nickname, the other. And the story ends with only Rabbi Akiva, Nichnas b'shalom v'yatza b'shalom, entered safely or in peace and exited safely or in peace. He was the only one that was able to withhold those secrets of the universe as manifested in the mystical texts and survive this encounter. Now, if we look again at these doors here, it's very clear that as we go from door to door, they are uninviting, they are closed, and the secret or the ability to touch upon the secrets of the mysticism of this relationship with God is completely locked over here. And you can see in this whole work kind of a question of someone who survived the Holocaust, and this notion of, is there even an ability to touch on this after the Holocaust? Is there a way to engage with God in this way? Keeping all of that in mind, we do see a painting that is fully about this relationship. And even though everything is in ruins, and even though it seems like a place we wouldn't want to go into or venture to go into, or fear we will never go out, it is still here. It is still something that the artist is grappling with, and there's still this horizon to look forward to. So this is a kind of short example for the amazing craftsmanship and depth of the works by Samuel Bak. It's very interesting to see within Israeli society and within the Israeli art world his kind of significance, but also how unreceptive the Israeli art world was to his work, because it was so far away and different from what was going on here in Israel at the time. And the fact that actually he left to Paris and then to the United States did allow his career to flourish. I hope, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy your time with him immensely. I wish I could be there with you. So please bring with you an open mind and heart and curiosity to this encounter. Thank you. Bye.